The UFC is headed back to London in March, and in today's video, I'm going to be predicting the entire UFC Fight Night London card in March. We're going to predict every single fight on the card. I'm going to build the entire card from early prelim to the main event. There's only one fight booked for this card. We don't have all the rest of the fights. I believe that I've created a very stacked card, a realistic card though as well. So we're going to start with the early prelim. The early prelim that I have booked, the early prelim that I've created is going to be Alice Ardelin versus Shauna Ben. I know it's not crazy. It's a crazy, what am I saying? It's a crazy fight. It's a banger fight, but this is realistic. They're probably going to put Shauna Ben on this card. They always put her in Europe. They put her in London. They put her in Paris, for example. She just lost her last fight by sub, but I think this is a reasonable matchup. Alice Ardelin's on a 2-fight win streak. She's finally making a couple waves in the UFC. Waves, what am I saying? But she's doing decent. She's doing okay. This is a very low-level WMA fight. Book it. I think Alice Ardelin would probably win, but Shauna Ben could pull it off. It's an interesting fight. Put it as the early prelim. Not really going to pull too many eyes, but the next one I do believe will. So this is going to be early prelim. The next prelim that I've booked is one that I think is going to pull people. This is one that I would just immediately be like, yeah, I'm watching this prelim. I'm watching this prelim. Gunnar Nelson versus Andreas Gustafsson. This is a banger fight. I feel like the GOAT for making this matchmaking. This is a banger fight. Gunnar Nelson, they always put him in London. He's a guy, he's from, what is it? Isn't he from fucking Greenland or something? I was going to say Greenland, not Greenland. Iceland. He's from the European area. They always put him in London. He always is going to have a great fan base in London. So put him on this card against Andreas Gustafsson, a guy who's from Sweden. A guy who's pretty good. You know, he lost to Renat Fakhretdinov, kind of dropped his stock a little bit. We were all hyping up. We were all on the Andreas Gustafsson bandwagon before we got fraud checked by Renat Fakhretdinov, but this is still a good matchup. Both these guys are getting older as well, so I think the age is good. The level is good as well. You know, Gunnar Nelson's a high-level grappler, a decent striker. Gustafsson's a fucking marauder. He's a marauder, so this is a banger. This is a prelim that people will show up for. This is a prelim that people are going to be like, okay, well, hold up. This is a prelim that's going to get some eyes. This is prelim. We got a good name in Gunnar Nelson. We got a guy in Andreas Gustafsson that the majority of the UFC MMA fan base kind of like as a marauder. He's a fun fighter. He'll march forward. He'll put on a scrap. So put this as the second prelim. This is a great matchup. I love this fight, and I think they got to put this on the London card. We move on to the next prelim that I've booked. The next prelim that I've created is one where he got a debuting guy in Curtis Campbell. Curtis Campbell versus Ramon Tavares. If you haven't watched Dana White Contender Series, Curtis Campbell is probably the biggest sleeper build you'll ever see. You'll see him on the street. You're like, bro, this is a nerd. This is a nerdy nerd. Fucking Pink Panther. That's his nickname, the Pink Panther. This is a nerd, bro. This is a nerd that people try to rob. But little do they know, he's a fucking scrapper. He's got great MMA skills. He's got great jiu-jitsu, really good striking. He won his Dana White Contender Series debut in a minute against a kind of scary African or Mozambique guy. Destroyed him, TKO'd him in the first round within a couple minutes. Put him up against Ramon Tavares, a guy who's got a decent amount of experience, who's going to test Curtis Campbell to see if we should all hop on the Curtis Campbell, the Pink Panther bandwagon. I think we should. He's a great fighter. He looks like he's very well trained. He's very skillful, but he is undefeated. He is untested. So give him Ramon Tavares, a guy who's got experience, who's been there, kind of done that enough in the UFC. He's got 4 or 5 fights in the UFC. Make this fight. This is a great fight. It'll show the level of Curtis Campbell, and it'll also show if Ramon Tavares deserves to still be in the UFC. I think he's on a 2-fight losing streak now, so I think Curtis Campbell would win this fight, but it would be close. It would be close because Ramon Tavares hasn't been finished in the UFC. He's only been finished on Dana White Contender Series. He's a tough out for most people, so good test for Curtis Campbell to see his level. Book this fight on the UFC London card. You got an English guy, a fresh English guy that people can back, a guy that could be a high prospect, a big prospect in the UFC. Sleeper build, like I said, he's got some nerdy glasses. He looks like a nerd, but he is a killer. So make this fight. You're going to see the level of Curtis Campbell and see if Ramon Tavares can keep his UFC contract. We move on to the next prelim where we got, Louis Lee Scott versus Jakub Wicklacz. I fucking cooked on this one. I fucking cooked. This is a banger. This is a great fight. If you haven't watched Louis Lee Scott, another debuting guy, a guy who won on Dana White Contender Series, beat an Indian guy, an Indian prospect, in the third round, pieced him up the entire fight, and then TKO'd him in the third. Very, very impressive. He missed weight a little bit, but I think he'll show up. He'll look good. He's fighting a guy in Jakub Wicklacz who just fucking beat, what's his name, Patchy Mix. You know, we'll see if that ages well or ages like fucking milk. It's kind of aging like milk already. Patchy Mix doesn't look like he's who he says he is, who he's supposed to be, but Jakub Wiklacz, very good grappler, really decent. He's a decent striker. He's a good grappler. High level grappler from KSW. Pretty good record as well. Louis Lee Scott as well as undefeated. So we got a few undefeated English guys on this card, prospects that I think you have to really promote on the prelims, because we got guys like Curtis Campbell, Louis Lee Scott. We're going to talk about another guy in a minute, but Louis Lee Scott is a fresh guy, a fresh face on the English. He's on the English regional scene. He's now in the UFC. He's undefeated as well. Test him against Jakub Wiklacz. If he gets through Wiklacz, because I don't think Wiklacz is that good. That just shows that Patchy Mix is dog shit. But I think this is a good fight. I think Louis Lee Scott can win this fight. He's going to be the way better striker. And now we'll just see, can he defend the takedowns? Can he defend the grappling and the submissions of Jakub Wiklacz? Because Wiklacz is dangerous on the ground. Really nasty guillotine, nasty Darce chokes as well, rear naked chokes. He's really, really dangerous on the ground. So this is a fun scrap on the prelims. Put this on the prelims. Louis Lee Scott versus Jakub Wiklacz. I love it. We move on to the next prelim. Another one where I fucking cooked. This whole card is like sneaky bangers. It's sneaky bangers because there's a lot of new guys in the UFC that are new English guys in the UFC that are undefeated, that are fun, that are going to get the fan base going when they're there at 4 a.m. their time watching these, or 3 or 4 a.m. watching this. With Paramount, it might be different. It might be different, actually. It might change the time. It might be a little bit earlier, but this fight's going to be a banger. Haider Emil versus Luke Riley. This is a fucking banger. I'm looking at this fight and I'm low-key edging. This is a fucking great fight. This is a great fight. Haider Emil is always going to bring a scrap. He's always going to have a fun fight. He lost his last two. He needs a bounce back. Luke Riley's undefeated, hyped up English prospect, just chinned the fuck out of Bogdan Grod after a dangerous first round. He was getting grappled up. He was getting threatened by subs. He was in really bad positions. And it was looking like he was about to lose that fight. Comes out in the second round, chins him brutally. He's a Paddy Pimblett teammate. He's an English guy through and through. And he's a guy that the English people, the London people, are going to back the fuck out of. So put Luke Riley against Haider Emil, guaranteed banger, guaranteed scrap. Haider Emil might be shooting takedowns after the striking exchange. We'll see if Luke Riley is that good of a striker when he fights a guy in Haider Emil who's going to bring a big storm. He's going to bring a big storm, a tornado, a hurricane, like his nickname. He's going to come out, he's going to throw big combinations, and Luke Riley's going to have to answer. And I think Luke Riley can knock out Haider Emil, but Haider Emil's a blockhead. He's a blockhead through and through. He'll be able to thug out some shots, and he'll be throwing back big bombs. So this is a banger. This is guaranteed going to be a scrap. We got a few scraps on the prelims already, but this is one that I really, really want to see, and I think it's a great test for Luke Riley. A good bounce back position for Haider Emil. He's fraud checked a lot of these guys. Obviously lost his last two, but coming up into the UFC, he was an underdog, and he won those few. So we'll see what happens here, but I think Luke Riley, Haider Emil, put this on the London prelims. This is a great, great fight. We're going to move on to the next, I think the final prelim. Or was that the final prelim? Wait, let's see. Yeah, this is the final prelim. Jai Herbert versus Mateusz Rebecki. This is a good fight. This is a good fucking fight. And people are going to be like confused by this matchmaking because Jai Herbert is way, way less highly ranked than Mateusz Rebecki. But Rebecki has lost 2, or is it 3 now? Is it 3? He beat Orobai. He lost to Duncan, and then he just lost to Klein. Okay, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Jai Herbert's on a 1 or 2 fight losing streak as well. And Rebecki needs a bounce back. Rebecki needs a bounce back. We need to stop throwing Rebecki into these fucking wars with these guys. He's fighting a clean technical striker that he can take down, that he can kind of mog, that he can maul a little bit. He can show his levels. I think he's going to be healed up from all of his injuries from his Ludovic Klein fight a couple months ago for UFC 321. I think he's going to be healed up. He'll be fresh for London. Put him there, bro. He's Polish. He's going to have the Polish fan base there. You know the Polish people are going to be showing up to London with their flags. They're going to be hyping up Mateusz Rebecki if he's there. You know, last year with, what's his name? Polish Power, Jan Blachowicz. There was so many Polish flags in the crowd. So get Mateusz Rebecki on this card. He's Polish. He's a really good fighter. He needs a bounce back fight. Jai Herbert could also pull off an upset here, but I think Mateusz Rebecki would win. But this is a good fight because Mateusz Rebecki 2-fight losing streak. Jai Herbert barely clinging on to his fucking UFC contract. If this guy wasn't English, he probably wouldn't be in the UFC anymore. But really fun fight. Technical striker versus a bit of a brawler, a bit of a marauder in Mateusz Rebecki, who's always going to bring a scrap. It's always going to be a scrap, and he's going to bring it out of Jai Herbert. So main prelim here. This is a really good fight. This is going to bring some eyes. It's going to bring the Polish fan base, the English fan base. This is what you need on a London fight night. And we're going to move on to the main card. The main card opener is it's a banger. It's a banger. This is one that's like, I look at this, I'm like, yo, this is the next fight. Iwo Barniewski versus Ion Kutolaba. Did I cook or did I not cook? I absolutely cooked. Iwo Barniewski. If you didn't watch his debut against what's his name? The Turkish power guy. If you didn't watch his debut against the Turkish guy, the best first round of 2025 ever in the year. The best first round of the year. By far, on his debut, they were slugging it out. It was a bar fight. It was an absolute brawl. They were throwing big right hands, dropping each other. They both dropped each other twice within 2 minutes. And then Iwo Barniewski put a big right hand on the Turkish guy, dropped him, fucking finished him. Oh, it was, what's his name? Holy shit, I'm forgetting his name. Turkish power, bro. I'm forgetting his name. But Iwo Barniewski put hands on that guy. He fucking destroyed him in the first round within 3 minutes, and it was still the best round of the year by far. Crazy, crazy fight with Iwo Barniewski. And you know what Ion Kutolaba brings to the table. This guy is a fucking marauder as well. Big power, throwing hands. He's got takedowns too. He's going to threaten submissions. He's going to mix it up. He obviously lost his last one by split decision. I watched that fight live in Montreal. It was very close. He did get a little bit robbed, but I think Modestas did win that fight. But this is a great fight. This is a great fight. If you don't think this is a great fight, you're a fucking casual. You're fucking casual, all right? And I'm a casual. I'm a Canadian casual. But this is a banger. This is a banger. Ion Kutolaba, the Hulk, always going to bring a fun fight. Always, always, always. And Iwo Barniewski as well. I mean, I'm saying always as if his last fight wasn't a fucking snooze fest. I was sleeping in the stands, but Iwo Barniewski's going to bring it out of him. I think this is a finish in the first round. I think this is a knockout on the main card. Great way to open up the main card of a fight night. And you're going to get the Polish guys as well. You're going to have back-to-back Polish fighters fighting. You're going to get the fan base there. You're also going to get the fan base from Ion Kutolaba. Everybody tunes in for an Ion Kutolaba fight. So main card opener. Main card opener, without a doubt, this is a fucking banger. We're going to move on to the next fight on the main card that I have booked. Another one that I think is really good. It makes sense. Nathaniel Wood versus Pitbull, bro. It makes sense. It makes sense. A lot of people I even think Nathaniel Wood robbed the fuck out of Miguel Delgado in his last one at UFC 321. But they did give him the decision. And at this point, we need to see if Nathaniel Wood is top 15 level. We need to see. And Pitbull said he'll fight anybody. He'll fight anybody anywhere. He wants a fight. He pulled out of that fight against the French guy not that long ago. And that was shitty. That was shitty. That was dog shit. So put him on the London card. Get the English guy on the main card. Get Nathaniel Wood there. Bloody Nathaniel Wood. He's going to pace him up with a fucking jab. Drop him with a 1-2. You know, the fucking English people are going to go crazy for Nathaniel Wood. He was on the main card of the London card last year. Won that fight against the French guy, Morgan Charrier. Put him against Pitbull. See if he's top 15 level. And then at least we know. If he loses to Pitbull, then just fucking drop him. Just drop Nathaniel Wood back down, bro. We're not giving him any more ranked opponents. Fuck that. He's got to build his way back up because he's robbed a lot of these guys. But Nathaniel Wood is a nice technical striker. I think he can beat Pitbull. He's going to be bigger. He's going to be faster. Pitbull might actually be smaller than Nathaniel Wood. And Nathaniel Wood's always the smallest fighter, but I think he beats Pitbull. And we'll see his levels here, but this is a good fight. Technical fight. Probably not the most fun fight. That's why I put it so low on the main card, but it's a ranked matchup. It's an opportunity for Nathaniel Wood to get ranked. It's an opportunity for Pitbull to protect his ranking and then actually get an opportunity to get up the rankings. I don't think he deserves a step up after beating fucking Dan Ige. No way. No way, Pitbull. You're not getting a step up, buddy. You got to fight Nathaniel Wood in London. Sorry, bud. We're going to move on to the next fight. What is this? The feature fight? The feature fight of the main card. Feature fight. What? I'm fucking tripping, man. Is it the feature fight? I might be tripping. I'm forgetting what I put here. Oh, never mind. Not feature fight. Mick Parkin versus Mario Pinto. This is another great fight. This is probably a guaranteed knockout. Mario Pinto, if you haven't watched his last fight, he is a great heavyweight prospect. Undefeated. Mick Parkin just lost his undefeated record to Marcin Tybura. Who does that to Marcin Tybura? No, I'm kidding. He lost to Marcin Tybura by decision. He hasn't fought in a long time. I don't remember the last time we saw Mick Parkin. Was it on the London card or the Paris card? It was one of those ones. He lost by decision. Shitty fight. But this one, I think is a good bounce back spot. He could beat Mario Pinto, get himself back up, get himself back in the win column in London with the home crowd advantage, with the judging advantage. Let's be honest, it's going to be a little bit of bias if this does go to the decision, but I think Mario Pinto would probably slime out Mick Parkin. Great fight, though. Great fight, because I don't think we should boost Mario Pinto up too much. He's coming off a nasty knockout over Janata Deniz, brutalized him. Before that, destroyed Austin Lane. Those are like okay wins. We need to see if he can really be a high-level heavyweight prospect that we need, because he brought the personality in his last one at the end. The fucking English, or what the fuck did he say? He said he was speaking. He only knew Spanish, and then he started speaking English. Oh, not to mention this guy trains in London. This guy trains in the UK. This makes sense. I'm goated. I feel like I'm the GOAT with this one. He trains in England, and you got another English fighter. Boom. You put them both on this fucking card. Not the feature fight, but on the main card. Really good fight. You're gonna have the fucking where's he from? He's from He's from oh my God, man. Oh my God. Portugal. He's from Portugal. So Mario Pinto's going to bring in the Portuguese fans. You know, Mick Parkin's going to bring in the English fans. Pinto's also going to bring in the English fans too. So this is one people can get behind. The fans can get behind. Probably a knockout. Probably. I mean, Mick Parkin's a bit of a decision merchant, but Mario Pinto brings it. So I think probably a Mario Pinto knockout. Mick Parkin could pull off the upset though. Great fight here on the main card. We move on. Now the feature fight. This one is already scheduled. This one is already booked. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Roman Dolidze. This is a good fight, and I think it should be the feature fight. It shouldn't be the co-main event, but feature fight here. I really like this one. CLD is going to have all the English fans as well. You know, he's a very technical striker, dangerous, spinning elbows, spinning kicks, really nasty, coming off back-to-back knockouts now, spinning back fist against Marco Tullio, and then fucking flatline KO'd him in the apex with that big overhand right. That was nasty. So he has a lot of hype on him now, and he's fighting a guy in Roman Dolidze, who's a bit of a blockhead, a bit of a stiff blockhead, but a guy who's been just kind of a solid number 13, number 12, number 11 in the middleweight division. It's time to see if he can hold that spot. He just got fucking destroyed by Anthony Fluffy Hernandez in the apex, got mogged for 4 rounds and choked out. So he took his time off. It's time to come back. It's time to fight Christian Leroy Duncan and see if you deserve to still stay in that top 15 spot. I think CLD can win this fight. I think he could chin Roman Dolidze, but Dolidze is a bit of a blockhead. He can make this tricky. He could get takedowns. This is an interesting fight. It's a fight that I probably would have made as well. Good matchmaking here, and I like it as the feature fight. I think CLD could win this one, but no matter what, you're going to have some Georgian fans from Roman Dolidze, and you're going to have the English fans backing the fuck out of CLD in the feature fight. We move on to the co-main event. This is a fight that I think makes sense. People might call me crazy, but I think this fight makes sense based on what we have seen recently. Michael Venom Page versus Israel Adesanya. Don't hate me for this one. The Izzy Glazers are going to be coming the fuck at me. They're going to be like, yo, this is crazy. We're not giving Izzy a number 10 ranked opponent, bro. He needs to be fighting for the belt, bro. He deserves a rematch with GDP. He deserves the fight with Hamza. No, fuck that. Izzy needs a bounce back. He needs to fight down. He hasn't fought in over a year. He's been taking his sweet time. I understand he got chinned by Nasruddin Nimavov. Fight before that, he got subbed by DDP. Fight before that, he lost to, who did he lose to before that? Was it Strickland? Anyways, Izzy's been on a downfall. Izzy has been on a downfall. Michael Venom Page has slowly been creeping up. He fraud checked Shara Bullet. I think that was also, that was an Abu Dhabi fraud checked Shara Bullet. You know, he just beat Jared Cannonier. Those are some good wins. They're not the most entertaining, but put him as a co-main event. Test Israel Adesanya. You could even make this 5 rounds. I'm not mad at it, but I don't think they would do that. But Izzy can win this fight. Very winnable matchup for Izzy. You know, he's probably the cleaner striker. MVP is a very difficult style to fight against, and MVP could be popping Israel Adesanya, but we'll see if Izzy's chin is cooked. We'll see if he's done. We'll see if he's washed, but he's fighting an older guy in MVP who is beatable, very beatable. We've seen guys like Ian Gary beat him. So I think Izzy can beat him. He's going to be the bigger guy. He's probably going to be the faster, not faster. He's not going to be fast. What am I saying? He's not going to be faster, but the more technical guy, but he'll have to deal with a guy who's very fast, very dangerous in Michael Venom Page, and it'll be a good test. Plus, you're going to get the English guys on MVP's side. Like I said, I'm putting a lot of English fighters on this card. Obviously, it's fucking London. It's the UK. You got to put them, but MVP in the co-main event. He has yet to fight in London, yet to fight in the UK. Why not put him on this card? It makes sense in my opinion, and he deserves a bit of a jump up. He's been on a 2-fight win streak. He just beat Jared Cannonier, a guy who Izzy beat in his prime as well. So I think this is a good fight. Izzy's on a downfall. Book this one as the co-main event, and you can make it 5 rounds. I'm not mad. People wouldn't be mad at a 5-round co-main event of Michael Venom Page versus Izzy. That could be a fight night main event, but it won't be the main event, because the main event, if the UFC doesn't book this, the entire fucking fan base is crashing out. This is the main event. Lerone fucking Murphy versus Movsar Evloev for the #1 contender spot in the featherweight rankings, for the #1 contender spot to fight Volkanovski next or to fight Lopez next, depending who wins that fight at UFC 325. This is the matchup. This is the matchup. There's nothing about it. There's nothing to circle about it. There's nothing to fucking be like, oh, should they book this? They have to book this. They have to book this. Undefeated Lerone Murphy, 17-0. Undefeated Movsar Evloev, 19-0. Book this fight immediately. This is the main event. 5 rounds, a scrap, undefeated versus undefeated. Very promotable, super duper promotable UFC. Look at the 0-0-0 super promotable. Right? In the UK, you got a UK undefeated fighter in the main event fighting an undefeated Russian. This could be fucking generational. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a lot of scrambles, a lot of back and forth. You know, I don't think Evloev's going to hug him. I don't think Evloev's going to pull a Hamzat or Islam performance. I hope not, because he does have decent striking, and he does like to strike with guys. He does like to have good grappling transitions, and Lerone Murphy will grapple with Evloev. He will go for some transitions. He will try to keep this on the feet, obviously, and land those knees up the middle. The spinning back elbow. They fucking screwed over Lerone Murphy by giving Diego Lopez that rematch after not giving Lerone Murphy the fucking title shot after fucking knocking out Aaron Pico, who was supposed to fight Movsar Evloev on 3 weeks' notice. Lerone Murphy steps in there, chins Aaron Pico the fuck out with that spinning back elbow. One of the nastiest knockouts of 2025. Make this fight. But if this fight doesn't come to fruition, there is somebody else that you can put in this main event that I've had on the sidelines just in case Movsar does not fight because he's fucking inactive, because he doesn't want to come back. He doesn't want to fight. He just wants to stay in his hometown and do whatever and just jug and just fucking goon. You book this. Aljamain Sterling versus Lerone Murphy instead, in case Movsar doesn't want it. If Movsar doesn't want it, Aljo deserves it. As much as I don't like Aljo, he did beat Brian Ortega over 5 rounds. He is on a 1-fight win streak now. He is at the top of the division. It's a great person to put on your resume for Lerone Murphy. It's a promising matchup for Lerone. It's a good matchup for Aljo if you can get the grappling going. And if he beats Lerone Murphy, he's there for a title shot. He is. He's right there for a title shot. As annoying as it is, he would be there for the title shot. And it's a good 5-round main event as well. Not as, promising as Evloev versus Murphy, but it's still a good main event. I think you got to make this in case Movsar doesn't go and doesn't step in and doesn't want this fight. And he's like, I just want to fucking jug in Russia. I just want to do whatever and just goon. But I think Lerone Murphy versus Movsar or versus Aljo, depending on how things go, is obviously going to be the main event. It better fucking be the main event. It better be one of these two. It better be. So UFC, if you guys are watching, if anybody from the UFC is watching, please, bro, please listen to what I've said. Look at every matchup I've made. I've absolutely cooked on this card. It's a very realistic, a very solid London Fight Night card. It's not even out of the ordinary. It's not crazy. Qatar was booked. Qatar was crazy. Paris was crazy. We can make this fight card absolutely stacked. So that's the entire video, boys. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop down in the comments what you guys think about my card build. What would you guys change? What do you guys think about the main event? And I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.